So maybe my dog will be back in a minute or two. He got a treat and he took it away and hid it somewhere totally obvious. He's not that great in hiding stuff, and he just keeps it hidden for about 10 minutes and then he digs it out again. Yeah, so maybe he will be back here on my outdoor sofa and keep us company. Well, hi, and welcome back to the Knits for the Soul podcast. My name is Claudia. I am podcasting for you from central Germany. I live here with my son and, well, said dog, whose name is Ivo. And there he is. Come here. No. He's just looking at me. Maybe I have another treat, but I don't. Leckerli? Nein. Okay. I've had 2 weeks of vacation, the past 2 weeks, and I meant to podcast twice actually, but it didn't happen. And now I have a bit of time. It is rather quiet outside. Maybe you hear birds, but my neighbors seem to have stopped with all the noises. So someone is building something. I don't know. So maybe I have to record this in bits and pieces. And this is a total mess. No structure at all. Yeah, well, so this is a knitting podcast. You who are already viewers of this podcast, welcome back. I'm glad you are back, and though it took a long time for this episode to come out. And for everyone who is new around here, hi and welcome. I'm glad you're here, and I hope you like the messy stuff I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't have a plan, as usual. Yeah, I think it's reserved for work. I always have a plan at work. So for this, I don't have any. But I have a lot of stuff for you here to show you and to talk about. And mosquitoes are here as well. Yay. And yeah, let's see how this goes. I recorded something last week when I came back from my friend Stefan. So if you follow me on Instagram, my name there's the same as here on YouTube. It's Knitsforthesoul. If you follow me there, oh please do. Then you probably have seen the posts and the stories about that large sock tube we made on his sock knitting machine. And I started to knit, well, to finish the socks. So, and because I was really keen on starting that, I recorded that sock tube last week. So I will put this here somewhere. So here it is, this sock tube I made with the help of Stefan and his vintage sock knitting machine, which is a model from 1953. Works perfectly. So let me just grab the lid of my sock yarn stash bin, where I have rolled up the sock tube. We've been knitting in a bit above 3 hours today. This is it. So for all of you who know how they are working, we had a tension of the ribber. So we chose a 1x1 ribber, and the tension of that one was on the 1, and the tension of the knitting stitches on the lower wheel is on the 6, or was on the 6, and we cast on 72 stitches. So this whole tube is a 1x1 rib. You don't see that now, and you won't until I will put those on a sock blocker for you. I will put in afterthought heels and toes, of course, and cuffs in contrasting colors. And yeah, the sole of the feet will be ripped then too, but I think they will be fine. I didn't want a stockinette tube. I wanted a ripped one just to give more stretch to it. And well, yeah, let's see if this experiment will be successful or if I will regret it and frog everything and have to start afresh. I don't know. But let's just have a look at these and which yarns they are. So I saved all the labels apart from this one because this is a yarn by Stefan. I'm not sure. I will ask him what it is and put it here. And this was, let's say, the test part of the tube. And we decided that this is too stretchy and too wide. And we went down with a tension. So let me just grab the sock blocker and put this on here so you can see the yarn better. So this is the first sock. So of course you only see one sock now. This is a leftover yarn, and I will see how much I can use. So you have to imagine that, of course, this part here will be the contrasting toe. There will be a contrasting heel and of course a contrasting cuff. So I guess I'll be able to knit little socklets, you know, with a very short leg. And the same will be done with the... oh yeah, for this I will post the original sock from which this is left over up here. And next as well. So just pulling that onto my sock blocker. So this is even a bit less actually, and I'm not sure yet if this is really going to be a sock or a tiny sock. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I can just use parts of these for cuffs, maybe for other socks as a contrast. Let's see. So that would mean I would just have to Kitchener it in. No, not Kitchener. Yeah, Kitchener it in. And then bind it off. Let's see. Okay, so this is wriggling itself. So here is a hand-dyed yarn. Oh, sorry, I totally forget to fill in what the yarns before were. I will put in subtitles there, descriptions. So this yarn, I'm too far away, saw a bit earlier probably in this podcast because I'm recording this in bits and pieces. I knit the Lights on Main Socks by Hugo Canyon out of this yarn, and this is what is left over, and it's going to be short socks as well. And okay. Oh my gosh. So the next is also just a tiny bit of a leftover, and I'm not sure how much I can use from this. So this is a oh my gosh, what is this? I forgot what it is. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, it's a Schachenmeier sock yarn. Just a self-striping 4-ply sock yarn, and here are the original socks. And then there is a, oh my, which one was that? Oh yeah, the next one is a Schöller and Stahl sock yarn. It's called Fortissima Mexico, and the color is Tundra. So this is definitely, that looks so weird, definitely enough to make a pair of socks, really, with the contrasting yarns. So the next is, everything is, so the next is a Regia Jacquard color, and this was only a, this was only a 50-gram skein I got from someone as a gift, but it's so prettily patterned. Look at this, that's so fun. It almost looks like those American brand sock yarns. Oh, I forgot what it was. Yeah, so this is really pretty. Oh, and if you look closely, oh, there is dog hair. Great. He's not even inside. Okay, so you also see what this will look like when I'm wearing it, because the sock blocker is my size, and then you see it is, or it has ribbing. So I'm really looking forward to this. Maybe I will start with it because I want to play around with contrasting colors. I'm not sure yet what I will use. So the next one is from my yarn swap, and this is a hand-dyed Stellina yarn. I'm not sure if this is even sock yarn. I got it from Sandra from the Craftfulness podcast. The same as the orangey one before. So it is a 100 grams. Oh yeah, can you see the pooling? Isn't that amazing? So, and if you look closely, you also see, so I go out of the picture, so you also see the Stellina. So this is going to be fun, and I'm not yet sure what kind of contrasting color I will use, but I have a mini skein in a mustardy yellow I got from a friend, and maybe I will use that for the contrasting parts. So the next part is also from Sandra. It's also not a sock yarn per se, I guess, but it's fingering weight. I think it was called something like Koi Pond or something. I'm not sure anymore, but in a second you will see why this name fits. Isn't that patterning amazing? How she dyed this? It's so awesome. What do you think? A black contrast for everything, or maybe white? I mean, we could also go maybe not with this red, but it's so awesome. Can't decide. So upcoming next will probably 2 pairs, because it's a lot for this gauge. So I got a lot out of this yarn, which also was 100 gram hank with a 420 meters. It's a Exmoor sock yarn from John Arbon Textiles. I've had this for a gazillion years. Well, for 6. But here it is. So it is it is enough to definitely make knee-high socks. But yeah, well, there are no increases in here, of course. So there are probably 2 pairs I will make with this. But it has an amazing grip, so I love this yarn, and I'm glad I'm finally getting around to knit it up. So of course it would be more worthy to do something with cables and stuff in that, because the yarn is a unique color, but solid color. But anyway, now it's a tube, and now it's getting contrasting parts. Okay, next one is a opal, and it was in a subscription box. I didn't have the subscription. I got this as a gift from someone who has, and I'm really sorry. I have no clue, none whatsoever, which subscription box that was. This is a label. So you see the opal, and abo is abonnement for subscription. And so maybe the color of the label gives you a hint. It has no colorway or dye lot. And this is the yarn. So if you know which, oh my god, there's a smudge. Ooh. So let's turn it around. If you know which opal month this was, please let me know. So this is so pretty, and I'm not sure what I will contrast with. Oh, this is too bright, no. But I will find something. Yeah, very pretty. So this is so cool. Okay. This is curling itself. Okay, so the next is also opal, but it's from the 100 Wasser collection after the artist, and the painting this is a 823, and it's The Way From Me Back to You. This is the label, and here you see, or maybe it's better focusing that way. Here you see, or should see, how the sock could look if knitted up. I think they're usually calculated on a 64 stitch repeat. And as I said in the beginning, this is a 72 stitch repeat. And that patterning is so gorgeous. I think I will have to buy it again. It's so pretty. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? It was so pretty on the cone as well when we wound it up for the machine. I will insert footage of that. And it was so fun to see the machine taking up from the cone and unwinding, and this is awesome. Totally cool. Okay, so we're almost done. I really have to check how much I have here in weight and how much the meterage is, or the yardage, and oh my gosh, so come on. Okay, the next one is a hand-dyed yarn. I bought it from a German hand dyer at the yarn festival in Leipzig. Well, before Corona hit. So I think it was 2019, because 2020 there was no yarn festival, right? I think so. So that lovely lady is, or her yarn shop.
The Lady is Atran von Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga auf Amazon Music.
What? Alexa, stop. I didn't say anything. Okay. Now we know why I have so much yarn. She is buying yarn in my name. I am innocent. Totally innocent. Okay. So the yarn dyer or shop is called Wollikata für Wollmäuse. It's something like a woolly cat for woolly mice. So this is the label. Sorry, yeah. I saw a lot of damage already, sorry. And it's just it's 100 gram sock yarn with stellina in it. So 75% wool, 20 polyamide, and 5% the stellina. Okay, so it's a 400 meters on those 100 grams. What was the name of this? I will put it in here. I have this in my Ravelry, I guess. So I originally bought this because I wanted to use it with another skein of hers in my yarn combo for Andrea Maury's Shifty. So in the meantime, I have a couple of other yarns I'm using there. So this was, let's say, leftover. And it's going to become socks. One pair at least, maybe two. And it's so, so pretty. I will put a picture of the hank here. And if you look closely, can you see that patterning of the colors here? Isn't that amazing? It's so beautiful. So beautiful. So getting out of the focus so you can see. I don't see anything, so I hope I'm showing that correctly. So it's really, really gorgeous. And it was so cheap. So it was, I think 11 euros for hand-dyed sock yarn. It's way too cheap, people. You need to sell your stuff for what it's worth, and your worth. You and your work and your creativity, it's worth way more than 11 euro and 50 cents. I would have paid more. And here's the last. The last. Oh, what is there? Oh yeah, there was a little yeah, the yarn was cut or something, so we had to make a knot, but I will repair this. So this is also by Sandra, a hand-dyed yarn by Sandra of Craftfulness, and this is, here is her label, and this is a non-superwash Falkland Merino, 400 meters on 100 grams. It has no color name, I guess. Yeah. But this is it. And it's so nice. Look at this. Let's see what I will use as a contrasting color, because this is just a bit variegated. I have a couple of minis I want to use here. And these are, by the way, I have a couple of them, the shopping baskets my customers use in my yarn shop. So I still have them. And display yarn in them, or other things. So yeah, for this, look at this. So this is a little mini I got from a mini swap from German podcasters. This is Lana Grossa Meilenweit Fantasy in the color 4791 90. Ooh, where's my camera? Here. This is pretty, so you can put it here. And I also have teensy tiny little opal balls. Look at those. Oh, they're cute. It's 10 grams each. And I had a huge bunch of them, and used to give them away when customers purchased something, and afterwards I just gifted them to people. And I have, come on, I have these left. 6. Yeah, 6 left. And okay, I'm sorry. So, and I will use those for contrasting parts in all those socks. And I actually won't care if I use several on one pair, but let's say use one for both cuffs and use another one for the heels, and etc, etc. So I also have, oh, this is not a sock yarn. Oh, this one. I also have these minis from that swap. So here is a hand-dyed one. I got this from Daniela. This is Dornröschen sock yarn called Warm Sunbeams. And this is, isn't it pretty? This is a 1000 sock yarn, Wild Trio from 2014. It's vintage. From Heike. And this is also Dornröschen from the the Yard Festival, Hoffest 2015. From Eva Fünkchen. Oh yeah. So I'm not really that active anymore in that group, but I should be actually. Yeah, so I have these. And I also have from the Lang Yarns, sock yarns I had, and I knit this pair of socks from. The Lang Yarns Jawohl sock yarn always gets those little bobbins with extra thread in the corresponding color of your yarn for strengthening the heels and the toes. So, and these are left, and I think I will see if I can use them for contrasting parts if I have an on superwash sock and use them on the heels, for example. And then, oh my God, look at this. I could make a shawl or a scarf from this. A huge one. So again, a shout out to Stefan, who is Stegemü on Instagram. He's knitting the most amazing sweaters, by the way, that you spend that afternoon with me, and yeah, winding the yarn and knitting. Look at this, this is so amazing. And this huge sock tube. This is my sock yarn stash box, by the way, which is now almost empty. And I'll show you what is left. So I got a couple of sock yarn leftovers gifted. Because I ask for help when I'm doing the Harry Potter socks. So here are just Regia, for example, Regia sock yarns. And here is I don't know if this is even a brand. I think I got this in a grocery store, just a off-white. And I have this beige opal, but I'm not sure this is fitting with any of these. And I was thinking to wind this into a skein and to dye it a bit into something speckled, maybe lightly speckled, so that it gets just a teensy tiny bit of an edge to it. That would be cool. Let's see. Yeah, so then I got Lang Yarns and Arvetta from Denise in these gorgeous colors. So this red is blown out here. Though I don't have electrical light on this, natural light. Anyway, so, but it's a darker red actually. This is a very light gray and my favorite color, mustard yellow. So, then I have still this hand-dyed neon green, which I used parts from for these socks, which are a sock tube from Stefan. And let's see, then I still have a merino yak from Regia. Which color is this? It's greenish. It's greenish. You see that? Yeah. So these are the solids. And then I have 3 skeins that I will knit up, hand knit socks from. So there is a Wollmeise twin. It's Harmonista 66. I saw a project photo somewhere. I'm not sure if it was Instagram or on Ravelry. And I thought, this is striping itself so beautiful. I need to have this. So I bought it. And I also know which pattern I will use. I don't want to knit just a stockinette, but it will have a bit of a stitch pattern in it. So this is the Wollmeise. And then I showed you, did I? No, I didn't. No, I will, no, not in this part. The other 2 I will show you, or have already shown you before. And I have no idea where I put the yarn acquisitions part in. So these are those. And then I still have my bag from Sandra. And I think there was some sock yarn in there too. Yeah, I think this was a sock yarn. I guess so. So it can be put into the sock yarn stash bin. And then I'm not sure. Oh, this has nylon and stellina as well. Oh, the hank just. So I should have taken that with me to knit it up on the machine. Anyway, it's not that I don't have enough sock tube already. So this is sock yarn. It's going into that bin. Then these are all not labeled. Nor is this. So I will keep those, or put those into, sorry for the crinkling, into the normal yarn bins. So yeah, I also have leftovers here. This is a Schoppel yarn, but it's not 4-ply, so that's why I didn't use it. And then here I have another opal. This is a 6-ply, and I made Hermione's everyday socks out of it. Bam! And this is so great, so great. I really have to look if I get something or some color of this as a 6-ply, so I can make a pair of socks from that too. Yeah, so all this is going back into this bin, and I feel as if I have accomplished a huge amount of knitting. Though it was just winding this thing. Yeah, so, and it's closing. Oh my gosh, it's cozy. But it's again totally full. So, oh, you saw the two hangs I want to show in a different part of the podcast. Anyway, okay, yeah. So this is my sock yarn stash. Sock yarn is no stash, by the way. So just buy it whenever you need it, whenever you want. Yeah. Okay, so I have tons of projects. Oh, isn't that looking pretty? It's looking so pretty. Maybe I just keep it like that. And I should make pictures of this for the YouTube thumbnail thing, which always is such a nightmare for me. I'm so bad with those thumbnails. Yeah, but this is so great. And I can't wait to play around with this and this. And let's see. I have a tiny bag with leftovers in my other basket over there. They're all in shades of blue. But I started a mulled sock project where I always combine, I think, two threads. And I want to knit this completely through and then always changing the colors just as I feel like. And so I can't use those shades of blue leftovers in here, but let's see. Yeah, I'm really excited. I don't know with which one I would like to start. This is so amazing. But this is also so amazing. It looks so small, doesn't it? But as this was made on a machine, you don't see the real pattern yet. So it's really tightened and scrunched up. But yeah, I'm so happy. And this is the current state of it. And I already have one pair finished. Yeah, so yeah, and the other side, here they are. So as you can see on the sock blockers, they're very big. So I scrunch them up a bit. This is a hand-dyed yarn. It's from a German hand dyer. Her name is Heike, and on Instagram her name is Heike DK, I think. And her dyeing business is called Wollikata. It's something like a woolly cat. And I bought this and another hank from hers at the Yarn Festival in Leipzig in 2018. Well, the last yarn festival before we had COVID. So I bought this hank. It is with Stellina. I'm not sure if you can see that. A bit maybe. With a lots of imagination you can see that. And the other hank I have from her, it's really beautiful, is meant for a different project. And this was actually two, but I decided against using this one because it would have been the only yarn with a stellina in it, and it didn't work how I wanted. So I thought, going to make socks out of these. And so we did, and I'm really glad. So you see here 100 grams and 420 meters of just a normal 75-25 sock yarn. No, not 75-25 because there's stellina in it, but you know what I mean. Anyway, and the contrasting yarn is a... Oh, I have this little... Where is it? I am prepared. No, I'm not prepared. Where is it? Ah! I made these I have these cute little cards, but I don't know where this one is. Anyway, this is the contrasting yarn is a Lang Yarn Siavol sock yarn, which is a 75/25 in light gray. It is a light gray, not white, but a light gray. And I forgot how much I used for this, but it's not much. So I had a 50-gram ball, and I think I used less than half of it for toes and heels and cuff. So these are 10 rows, 2x2 rib, and just a short row heels and toe. The sock itself is a 1x1 rib, and we used a ribber on the sock machine to get this. So I don't know if this is a universal thing, but you have a tension for the stockinette stitches, for the knit stitches, and then you have a separate tension for the ribber, means the purl stitches. So, and I think we had a tension of 6 for that, and a tension of 1 for the knit stitches. So these are, it's a lot more than I would use when I'm knitting a socks per hand. So with a, yeah, I would usually knit a 72 stitch sock, because I have a high instep, and when I knit this with hands, I would not use a short row heel. I always knit toe up with instep increases and a heel flap, and this gives a lot, or enough room for my instep. So here we have 84 stitches because of the tension, and then we use the ribber, which makes it really stretchy. So if you take this off, it looks so tiny. It looks so tiny, but it stretches a lot, and this also gives a lot of room for the instep. Can you see that? So they fit amazingly, and because of the ribbing, and I used a 2.5 for the contrasting stuff and a decreased bind off, there is not enough stretching possible, so I can just pull it up my calves, so no increase is needed. It's perfect. And it used the whole skein. There is nothing left, just a few scraps, and I put them on that cute yarn cart I have. Sorry, mosquitoes. I show you in the other sock. So this is my first finished object. And I took 2 more from that sock tube and I'm knitting with them. So let me see. Yeah, I have these cute little yarn cards I ordered online from a Norwegian shop. It's called Søstrene Grene, so the sisters Grene, Grenes, whatever. Let me see. So this is the label, and can you see that? Oh yeah, okay. So, and I put the website here. I think they ship internationally. They have a lot of shops, and it's also very cheap, everything. I mean, these are 20 cards I have here, and they cost me not even €1.50, so it's really cheap. And these are the cards. So you can take out these little dots, make a little hook if you knit or crochet, and put a bit of information on it, and then you just attach the yarns you use and put that on your project or wherever you want to have this categorized. So I put the little labels of the yarns at the back on these projects. So in the other one, for the hand-dyed pair of socks, is full with all the tiny scraps and the yarn infos. And yeah, so these are really cute, and I really often shop at that place when I see fun stuff pop up on my Instagram feed. I also have a knitter's file, which is really nice. I haven't used it yet, but there are yarn cards and project cards in there as well. I will show you in the next episode. And yeah, they have lots of stuff also for journaling, and I really like that. I usually buy that stuff twice or 3 times, so I can gift it to Margit from the Little Cabinets podcast, or my friend Jana, because we all meet up also digitally for bullet journal meetings. Yeah, so these are the yarn cards from the Grene sisters, and I want to use them for all my sock tube knitting. Here's my little basket of minis and scraps, and yeah, so I can keep track which yarns I use for which sock, and it's just pretty to put that into my knitting journal as well. Yay! So here is the next sock tube. So this is a hand-dyed yarn. It's fingering weight, but it's 100% merino, Falkland merino. It's non-superwash as well. And this was hand-dyed by Sandra of the Craftfulness podcast. And this is also from the yarn swap we did. I talked about in my previous episodes. So I already started one cuff. It's also a 2x2 rib, and the body is a 1x1. So we did the whole sock tube in the 1x1 rib. Yeah, and the contrasting yarn is a Lana Grossa Meilenweit sock yarn in the color Fantasy 4790. Yeah, so it was a 10-gram mini skein. Yeah, let's see how much I can use up with this, but I have a few others in, yeah, orangey, reddish color, so I guess I will be able to use this as contrasting color for the whole project. And so here you can see where we started. This was the first skein we knit up. So we had this waist yarn where we knit a few rows on the machine before we started with the actual yarn. And look how pretty this is pooling. So it's changing, but you see the repeats. Ooh. It's really nice. So this is the next sock. And then I also already took a apart the next one, which is a... Oh, my dog is here, by the way. So he's... There he is. Which is a self-striping opal sock yarn from their 100 Wasser collection. And this is Der Weg von mir zu dir zurück. So the way from me back to you or something. And it's a really, really cool repeat. Look at this. The colors are amazing. I'm not sure what I will use for a contrasting color. And I debated using this Hedgehog Fibers mini I got from my friend Jana. Or, oh, I don't have this with me. I have a Regia Premium Yak in a teal colorway, which is exactly this color. And I'm not sure if I want to break in a 100 gram skein. Not sure yet. And I might have ordered some 50 gram bolts of Lang Yarn's sock yarn and a couple of colors for this and others of these future socks when I don't think that anything of this will really fit. Well, sock yarn is no stash. But it has not arrived yet, so this has to wait, and that's why I'm knitting the other one. Okay, yeah, these are not the only socks I'm knitting. I also am knitting toe-up socks, and these are, oh yeah, the Paddington Station socks by Ambrose Knits. So I have knitted them before, and I really like the pattern. So I cast on yeah, what is it called? I put it in here. This is plant dyed. I also put in a picture of the skein here, and I have also already cast on the second toe with the mini, so I know exactly how much I will have for the toes and the cuffs. And this is the main color. It's plant dyed. The sock yarn set's color was called Daisy, I think. And it's a Corridel non-superwash fingering weight yarn. Yeah, so these are my Paddington Station socks number 2. And they only got, I think, 2 or 3 rows attention in the past couple of days because I was knitting on the sock tube pairs and I was knitting on my other whip I will show you next. And well, you see, I'm obviously not a monogamous knitter. I want to cast on all the things all the time. Apparently I do, and then I have so many projects in progress. Yeah, so there is not much to show you in the episodes. So in other knitting podcasts, the people always show their beautiful project bags. I have a couple of nice project bags. The one I'm using currently is a cotton bag I embroidered a couple of years ago. This pattern, this embroidery pattern, I think you can still download on the Edin Yarn Fest website. and I embroidered this. It's just a common shopping bag. It already ripped at some point, so I stitched it a bit together. I have my stitch markers attached here, and my other work in progress is the Ranunculus sweater. And I have already, I have already separated for the sleeves. I think I will do short sleeves, but I did not bind them off. I put them on waste yarn because I want to see when I'm wearing it how low they are on the arms already, because I don't like them to have, I have quite thick arms, so I want them to at least be halfway down my upper arm. So I don't think you can see really much. It's also, the needle is not large enough to put it in this pretty little circle to see the yoke. Yeah. It is so much fun to knit. I really like it. And this will definitely not be my last Ranunculus. I will knit this in real wool as well for winter, etc., with a tighter gauge. But this is a linen yarn. This is, do I have the, no I don't. This is the Rowan Pure Linen. It's 100% linen, and I have no idea how much there is on a 50-gram skein. I put it here. And I wanted to cast on this provisional thing to have a wider neck, but that didn't work out with my Chaogu red lace yarns needles. That it was so slippery with a linen yarn, so I cast on the other option, and then I just knit it. It's really nice, so I could do this over and over again. It's so much fun. The linen yarn is so soft. It's not stiff or scratchy or anything. It's really soft compared to other linen yarns I touched. And well, what is not so nice, it's not pilling. Well, but I have the fibers everywhere, so I'm, well, yellow everywhere. I hope this will stop after washing and blocking it, and I'm really curious how this will behave when it's a larger piece of fabric after washing and blocking, because the gauge swatch didn't change so much. Let's see. Yeah, so this is my Ranunculus sweater in my fancy hand embroidered project bag. Yeah, I really like that one. And I already have plans for yarns in my stash to become another Ranunculus. And on the other hand, I have already queued and bought patterns on Ravelry for more sweaters for yarns I have in my stash, and yeah, I have no idea when I will ever knit all that. So let's see. So these are my whips. I have two others, but they have been, well, hibernating for a while because obviously I have enough other projects working on, and yeah, you're right. Did you hear him groan? He does know I'm knitting on too many projects at the same time. He suffers with me. Okay, yeah, so I showed you the finished objects, my works in progress, and I have acquisitions. In the last episode, I showed you the knitting books I got myself for my birthday. And when I ordered them, I also ordered another book, which took more than 2 months to arrive. And when it did, I was a bit disappointed because I couldn't remember that it was a ring-bound book. So I ordered Ann Butt's top-down sweaters. I really wanted to have this, and it's ring-bound. So I posted this on my Instagram, and a couple of you told me that's actually nice, but I don't think so. So first, this is something I do not like, and then if I do this all the way, so I'm also scared I will rip this. Yeah, but it's such a great book. I really liked it. And then there is another book I want to order. So these past 2 weeks when I had vacation, I met up with friends, and I also took the opportunity to meet with another Stitch and Bitch group here in my town. And these lovely ladies always have cool new stuff to look at. So one of them had a sweater book I really want to buy, and let me just check. So it is by Carrie Bogart, and it's for round yokes. So there are 15 patterns in it, and my friend at the knitting group has the German version. It's called Die perfekte Rundpasse. Can you see that? No, you can't. I put a picture here and the information below. So I hope this is available in English. I haven't checked yet, and I want to buy that too. Yeah. So lots of inspiration to knit more and more sweaters. Yeah. So this is the year of socks. Apparently, I'm knitting so many socks in 21, but I really want to get to all the sweater patterns I queued up and already bought and have the yarns for. So I plan on preparing all that and start knitting, and hopefully 2022 will be a year of sweaters. Yeah. So that book was still from my birthday book haul. And then I also got yarns. So I think this was that in April or May as well. I pre-ordered the Happy Birthday Harry Potter sock set by Molly from A Homespun House, and it arrived a few weeks back. And this is the set. So the mini has gold Selena in it, and look at this pretty. Look at this. Okay, so this is so nice. It's a 75/25. And this obviously has also stellene in it. It's so soft. So her bases are just a dream. And due to the fact that she's back in Germany, yeah, I finally convinced myself to order because the shipping, of course, is cheap. And yeah, it would be so awesome if she had a showroom or something, because she's not living far away from me. Leipzig is, I think, about 50 or 60 kilometers away from me. So Molly, if you hear this, make trunk shows. yeah, so this is my Happy Birthday Harry sock set. And then I bought this for myself for my birthday. And of course I knew it would arrive a month later, but who cares? So then I got, among other cool bullet journal ephemera, a hand-dyed hank of yarn from my friend Jana. This is Mondschaf and the base is Pegasus. It's also 75-25, 100 grams, 420 meters. And she gifted me this stunning, beautiful skein. The colorway is called Shae, S-H-A-E. It is so gorgeous. It's really pretty. So Mondschaf is also a German hand dyer. Is there any more information here? Well, I will put in the URL here. So thank you again. This is so pretty. And then said friend Stefan with a sock knitting machine. He ordered some yarn in Ireland and I asked him to order one skein for me as well, and I really am not sure if I paid that or not. I hope I did. So and when we met up for the sock tube knitting, he gave me that Swartglass hank I ordered with his order. Can you see that? So this is undyed. It's I think it's a DK weight, is it? Yeah, it's a DK weight. 100 grams, 200 meters. So there is no dye in it. And this is from the Kilkenny mill. And yeah, from the Swartglass, Ireland. So let's see what I will do with this. If you go back a couple of episodes, I showed you those endangered breeds website, Kollektion der Vielfalt, where I ordered a lot of natural yarns, black mountain sheep, white mountain sheep, all kinds of endangered sheep breeds, and this fits to that so perfectly. Let's see what I will make of this. It is enough to make a hat, for example, and I'm sure after washing this will soften up a bit, but if it's still too bad, if you have it on the forehead and it's scratchy, well, I can just add some fabric lining. Yeah, so this is the Swartglass hank. And then a few weeks back, when we met up for our local Stitch and Bitch in a cafe we wanted to try out, which is a really nice place, by the way, one of my friends was knitting a sock in a pretty yarn, and I thought it was hand dyed, but she said no, it's not. It's actually a commercial yarn, and I thought it's so beautiful. I wanted this, and I went to an online shop. I have no idea where I bought this. I'm not sure. And went through all the colorways and decided on the color Nanda and bought it, and it happened to be exactly the same colorway my friend was knitting up. I didn't know that, I didn't write that down, and the hank does look completely different to what it is looking when you're knitted up in a sock. It's so beautiful. It's the Lana Grossa Meilenweit Merino, hand dyed. The colorway is Nanda. So this is really, really stunning. So this is, the yarn is spun in Italy for Lana Grossa, but it is dyed in India. So I found out after I bought it, and I think if I put in the effort for more research before I ordered, I'm not sure if I had, because it is mentioned nowhere, not at all, about working conditions of those who dye this. So I have no idea if this is, if they are paid fairly, if the conditions are okay. It's a really nice yarn. I mean, Lana Grossa has nice yarns, but I mean, it's years ago that there were a lot of controversial things popping up in the media about their sourcing, etc. And yeah, I think if I don't know how exactly the people who are hand dyeing this in India are treated, I'm not buying it again. They have so stunning colorways, but I mean, how much did that hang cost? I think it was about 11 euros, and this is so cheap. So there needs to be some, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I do not want to recommend you buying this, but if you find out more on the dyers in India for the Lana Grossa yarns, let me know. Yeah. And if it's alright, then of course. But so there must be something off if a hand-dyed sock yarn. I mean, it is spun in Italy, then they take this to India to hand dye it, and then they get it back to Europe, and then they sell it for 11 euros, 11 euros. It's way too cheap. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to knit this up because it really is pretty, and yeah, but I'm not sure I would buy from them again if I don't know what's behind all of this. Yeah, so these were my acquisitions. Do I have anything else? I don't know. Oh, I don't know if you saw that already. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might have. Thomas Atkins from the Knit Slips podcast and Instagram account, he has this project where he is where he's working with crafters, raising mental health awareness, and how these crafters, or how crafting helped these people, so the participants in that project, with their mental health. And I followed that for a while, and I thought this is a really great idea. And the girls up there talked about many issues they worked through or are working through, and I thought, wow, that's some tough shit. And I decided to ask if I could participate as well. So he agreed, and I did, and I recorded, and he cut and stuff and made it pretty. And you can find that video on his YouTube channel, and also on his Instagram. And hello. No, you don't have to lay down on the yarn. You're not a cat. You are a dog. He's trying to crawl into that basket. Did you see the size of the basket? He's trying to get in there. He's huge. Where was I? Oh yeah. Yeah, so you can find that video there. I'm talking about my postnatal depression. Yeah, it's called that in English. And depression in general. Life is hard. Yeah, and yeah, so have a look and give some love to his channel. It's a really great idea, and I think we should all be open-minded about mental health, and also don't be afraid to ask for help. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I have no idea if I recorded any pretty nature footage or anything. Let me see, and I will just put it at the end. Anyway, I'm going to knit on my Ranunculus. Now it's just stockinette down, and then let's see how long I will make it. And hopefully, in the next episode, which hopefully won't be that long as this one, or take that long to be published, I have a couple of finished objects for you. Yeah. So, I hope you're all well. I hope if you have vacation, you have great weather and can enjoy your vacation. If you have to work, I hope it's alright for you too. And you have nice weather and nice days and lots of time for knitting. See you next time.